So this is Izanagi-no-Okami. He's the hardest persona to obtain in the entire game. You can only get him in New Game Plus, and you have to be level 91, which is especially hard since you have to get from level 1 to 91 once you start New Game Plus. He requires 12 personas to fuse him, some of which aren't that hard to get, a couple are like level 5, 6. However, because it requires 12 and the max persona slots is 12, that means you have to get rid of every other persona you have and then buy them all back afterwards. That, plus having to buy some of these more expensive personas, means you have to spend about 600,000-700,000 yen. Of course, this depends on when you're making them. If you have cheaper personas that are lower level, then it won't be as bad. But this is when you're level 91 or higher, so you're probably going to have pretty expensive personas. Now, if we look at his moves, he has incredible stats, probably higher than any other persona by default. He resists fire, physical, ice, electric, and wind, but not light, dark, or almighty. He has Mega Dolion, which is the second best almighty move, barring Morningstar. Victory Cry, which fully restores HP and SP after battle. If you're having SP problems trying to go through Marie's dungeon, that's incredibly helpful. Angelic Grace, which doubles evasion rate against most attacks barring a few. And Mind Charge, which isn't the rarest move, however it's still incredibly useful, especially if you have Spellmaster on him, so it's cheaper. He learns Agidyne, Bufudyne, Zeodyne, and Garudyne, plus amps for each of those elements. However, he doesn't learn the higher range versions of any of those attacks. If you want him to be better than just resisting everything, and you want to give him some repels, nulls, or drains, you will have to give him that via skill cards or via fusing if you can give one of these personas right here one of those moves. However, it is quite difficult, especially considering some of these personas, it's very hard to fuse them late game considering how weak they are, so it'll be hard to give them good moves. But say you use Kartakeya or Zitsumiddle and give them some really good repels or whatever, then you can give those to him through them. As for is Izanagi-no-Okami worth the grind to get him and worth all the money and time you have to spend to get him, it depends. If you can give him good moves like Spellmaster or say Magarudyne if you want to make him a wind persona or Maragidyne or whatever, then he can be very worth it considering his resistances are amazing and his stats are also very, very good. Not to mention Victory Cry can be helpful, it sort of depends. At this point in the game, you probably have or definitely have Risei's ability that gives you 10% of your max SP at the end of each fight, and that combined with the fact that because you can save your SP items, you can use them for bosses, so ultimately Victory Cry isn't that amazing at this point. Angelic Grace is good, but he resists everything anyway, so it's not as good as it could be. Mega Dolion is also pretty powerful, plus his amazing stats make it powerful. However, Morningstar is a better move, so it's not the best out there. As for Mind Charge, it's pretty good but easy to get. And the other big issue is, unlike with most personas you can make in this game, there are no Arcana boosts because you don't have a world social link in this game. So if you want to learn any of the moves he has in store, you're going to have to get them yourself or fuse him with them. The moves he learns, apart from Agidyne, are Bufudyne, Zeodyne, Garudyne, and then Fire, Electric, Ice, and Wind Amp. Now, if you want to find out what the best weapon for Yu Narukami, the main character in Persona 4 Golden is, then click the video right on screen.